What's going on, guys? We're back, and today I'm going to be answering some questions. I've gotten a lot of great feedback on Instagram recently, a lot of questions coming in. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Dr. Brady Salcido, and we're going to be answering some of the questions that I've received on Instagram. So today we're going to be talking about what are the top 5 brain hacks that I would recommend to anybody for personal growth and self-improvement. Now, I personally love this question because there's no shortage of hacks out there. There's tons of stuff you can find on the internet for brain hacking, life hacking. I mean, there's so much stuff out there. There's always a new hack for something. But there's really a couple hacks that really are kind of the tried, proven, they've lasted the test of time. And these are the 5 that I will mention to anybody who's just getting started with self-improvement, or they just want to better their life in some way, shape, or form. These are the top 5 I'm going to recommend to anybody before they even start onto any other step of their journey. So with that being said, the first one's going to be morning routines. Morning routines are so powerful because what they do is they set up your brain for the entire day. So if you look at this from a brain level, right, a mind level, what happens is the first thing you do when you wake up, your brain is in what we call this alpha state. And the alpha state is when your brain's focused, it's ready to go, but it's also more receptive to input. So that's why if your brain's more receptive input, it's ready to go, you don't want to feed it junk like your email, social media, things that could possibly send you on the wrong path. All it takes is looking at one email, somebody's ticked off about something you sent over, or it's a social media post where somebody said something super negative and it puts you in a bad mood for the rest of the day. That's a state you don't want to start your day off in. So morning routines are so powerful, and I tell everybody, keep your phone off first thing in the morning and have a solid morning routine that sets your day up for the day ahead. Now, for everybody, that's going to look different. For me personally, that's waking up, getting a glass of water, going right into movement, getting my brain going, kind of flushing my brain with good blood, nutrients, things like that. Then I go immediately into reading. I don't even shower, just go immediately into reading because I want to feed my brain when it's primed after exercise with good positive input. And then from there, I go into the rest of my morning routine. But that sets my day up for a completely different approach today, puts you in control of your day, and really sets you up for success. And that's why morning routines has to be one of the first ones. And that's why you see so many successful people have some sort of morning routine as part of their approach. The second one here is probably the most important, but it's probably going to be the least flashy of these 5, and that's just consistency. Being consistent. Everybody's looking for the life hack, the brain hack, the mind hack, because they think it's going to actually shorten the entire curve in general. But when you look at the brain and how the brain actually changes, it takes at least 21 days for the brain to create a new wiring pattern, to create a new habit that's actually going to last and stay there. But people are looking for the hacks because they think it's going to shorten that curve. But the reason hacks are there, brain hacks, life hacks, mind hacks, is 1, marketing. 2, the other reason it's there is because it's going to help you get it in the quickest amount of time. And really, these are going to be the most effective strategies. But it doesn't mean it's going to actually change the process of your brain actually rewiring itself. So keep that in mind. Being consistent is the most important. People are really great. You probably heard the term of taking massive action. When you're trying to do something new, the first step you do is you take massive action. And a lot of people are really great at taking the first massive action, but have a much tougher time at staying consistent for the rest of the time afterwards. And that's where the true test of character, and that's where true change really comes in, is when you can actually last the rest of the time with those small, consistent daily actions for days, weeks, months, and years. And that's where true personal change and self-improvement really starts to take effect. The third most important brain hack is a brain healthy diet. This consists of brain healthy foods, healthy fats, omega-3s, good vegetables, the foods that are going to keep your inflammation low and keep your brain running on hyperdrive, giving your brain the nutrients that it needs. And I talk about this in a whole separate video for some of the top foods that you can use for a brain healthy diet. But this is so important because your physiology affects your psychology. Your mind runs through your brain. Your brain is kind of the infrastructure that your mind works through. And if your brain is unhealthy and you're not giving it the proper fuel, your mind's not going to have the proper fuel. So this is a piece of the puzzle that nobody can forget. If you want to have a healthy mental state, you want to have solid brain power, you want to have solid emotional and mental stability, having a brain healthy diet is an absolutely no-brainer for personal development. I would also include intermittent fasting in this list as kind of a bonus add-on with this, even though it's not necessarily a diet, but it is a methodology of eating that I think is so powerful for your brain health. There's so many benefits to it that I talk about in a whole nother video on intermittent fasting, but this is one I highly recommend for own personal growth, personal development, because it keeps your brain super healthy and supercharged. And number 4 is getting uncomfortable often. Now, this is a tough one for a lot of people, but this is all based on brain science. You've probably heard the saying that growth happens outside your comfort zone. Well, there's a reason. Your brain creates wiring patterns. It creates habits, and it loves comfort, it hates discomfort, it hates pain. And change is painful for the brain. The brain likes when it's comfortable, it has its normal routines, its normal patterns. That's why I see so many people get stuck in the same patterns over and over and over, because they don't actually practice getting outside their comfort zone and keeping their brain adaptable and changing. And the longer you stay in those habits and the longer you keep thinking the same thoughts, doing the same habits, the same activities, your brain gets stuck in a rut per se, and it gets stuck in a wiring pattern. It makes it hard to get out. So by practicing getting uncomfortable, doing new things, challenging your brain every single day, what you're doing is you're actually keeping your brain adaptable, flexible, and neuroplastic to a way to where your brain can continue to change, mold, and adapt. And it's going to keep your mind open, it's going to keep your mind expanding, and that's going to be a huge asset to you in your own personal growth and self-improvement. And number 5, this is one that is talked about often, but a lot of people don't like to hear it for some reason, but it's gratitude. And gratitude is so important because it literally changes the filter that your brain works through. It changes the perspective that your mind works through. Because a lot of times our brain is working through this filter, depending on your own personal growth, where you're at in your journey. Gratitude is a huge piece of the puzzle to actually flip the filter in your brain and actually start to look for more opportunities and more positivity. Gratitude actually rewires your brain in such an interesting way where instead of being negative, pessimistic, looking at what's wrong, looking at what's missing, having a practice of gratitude keeps your brain focused on what is already there. Where there are opportunities where there seems like there's not, what can you be okay with and happy with now? Because I tell you what, if you don't have a practice of gratitude, you're always feeling like there's something missing. You're going to be feeling like there's something that you still need. When in reality, we already have so much already. Most of us have much more than the rest of the world does. And when you can think about those little things that you're grateful for, having a supercomputer in the palm of your hand, having great weather outside, whatever it might be, those little things keep your brain looking for those positive aspects of your life that make you feel fulfilled and happy, and keep your brain open to new opportunities and new positivity, and allows you to be a beacon for other people. And that's a huge asset to you in your own personal growth. Now, those are my top 5 personal development hacks that I recommend for everybody. I hope you enjoyed these ones. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up down below. And if you're brand new to this channel, make sure you click that subscribe button so that way you can get access to more cool videos like this. And if you do have questions, a lot of people find me over on Instagram, and that's where a lot of people direct message me and ask me all sorts of questions. And I'd love to be able to answer your question here on the channel. So make sure you go check that out over there. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next episode.